All right, Grown Black Folks Talk, Black History Maker series. How to find the help you need and cross the gap to global team leader. Okay, we talked about, okay, you're a Black History Maker. How do you defend yourself on social media so you do not get TB moth, driven out of your head, out of your space, and out of being able to do your work on the platform? We talked about in the second video of the series, we talked about getting paid to be free and a social media platform whereby you can get paid a little bit. But the main thing is 95% of the trolls are eliminated because, first of all, not that many people know about this platform. And also, the barrier of entry keeps most people who just want to cause trouble out. And also, censorship is lower too because what's called decentralized. So you can actually do what you want to do and make a little cryptocurrency on the side that you can convert to both either Bitcoin or USD, United States dollars. A little bit. I showed you that what my setup over there. Third video we talked about, because so that's an intermediate step to actually building content that goes behind paywalls. You build advanced, you do free content on social media, but you do advanced content for people willing to go to a members only model on, let's say, YouTube, for example, or Patreon, or you begin to build courses, you begin to build membership sites, you begin to build advanced trainings, and you can put those behind a paywall. So now you use your social media and your intermediate step social media to begin to move people that are willing to invest in themselves and be willing to also invest in you for providing this behind a paywall. And these steps bring the troll madness out here that's in the free environment down to where you can do the work you're supposed to do. Now, there are a lot of things we need to talk about working away from these computers, but since COVID-19 is hit, this is where almost everything is going on that's going on when we interact with one another for right now. Now, next year, totally different situation. We may do some videos later about how to transition out. But today I want to talk about, okay, you're going to build the course and you're going to build the site, you're going to build this, you're going to build that. How do you find the people you need at a price you can afford? If you are in a community that is Black and is thriving, go out and find what you need from around you, because a functioning community has people that will do your graphic design. They will be able to understand how to do advanced things on the internet. They will be able to help you build a course. Perhaps you have these people around you. First of all, go do that. I'm not here to tell you not to use Black resources. In fact, I want you to do that. In order to have a community, we have to invest in each other. And at another time, although I'm doing a generalized presentation today, I will show you who I have used on some of the platforms I'm going to show you. And I have kind of stretched Black to across the diaspora. Because the reason that you also begin to look across the world is because there are places that the USD, the United States dollar that you have, counts for a lot more. And you can get a lot more done for a lot less money. Most of us are not rich. The other reality is a lot of us come from communities and circles that are not thriving and are not doing well because we don't have everything we need. Other people are out here getting billions of dollars from e-commerce, and we don't have that kind of access because we don't have all the skills together that we need. However, today we're going to take a walk through two platforms that will allow you to connect with everything that everyone else is doing out here, build what you need to build, and have people help you run it. You can build a team for a limited amount of money and have an actual business team that will let you do the work you need to do without breaking the bank. You ready? Like I said, now I realize Black History Month, we should try to hire Black. I absolutely agree. And you can look on these platforms for the people that you want. But I want to show you the most excellent way to do it and then find Black people within this, but make sure you take care of the business first. You cannot survive in business doing business in a non-business way. We all have feelings about our people and wanting to see them succeed. I certainly do. I put in more than 20 years of community work in the remnants of the Black community here in San Francisco. But but eventually what ends up happening is you learn that you have to do what's effective. Our ancestors were not able to free themselves by their own efforts. They had to make mutually beneficial alliances. The Civil War is a wonderful example of this. There were 180,000 United States colored troops, and I always mention them because they're usually not mentioned. And there were uncounted and unnamed numbers of Black women that gave them service and medical treatment when no one else would do it because white women were not going to be bothered. So make it a total of 250,000 Black people, most of whose names we do not know. 66,000 of those troops died, but it took a Union army of 1.8 million people in addition who were not Black, and a support staff of I don't know how many, uncounted names, which is why they say the death toll from the Civil War is close to 1 million, because there's a lot of names we don't have counted. All that said, it's very fashionable to talk about how Abraham Lincoln and the United States of America was more interested in preserving its empire than freeing the slaves, and this is true. But what Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman and the United States colored troops realized was we're going to have to figure out how to make a mutually beneficial alliance. We don't have to like these people, and they don't like us that much either, but they want to keep America, and we want our brethren to be free and our sisters to be free. And so for this pause, we're going to work together. That's some wisdom from Black history that we don't teach. So I'm teaching you. This is what you're going to go out into the world to do. Dr. John Henry Clark said, we have no friends as Black people. And he's referring to the fact that since the United States permanent arrangement for us was supposed to be slavery, there's no other plan available. And many people are still uncomfortable with this idea. And there's a demographic flippening happening, meaning that the demographics are going to be so that if you combine all the so-called minority groups in about 25 years, the majority group will be a minority compared to them, all of us together. Which also means that there's going to be room at the bottom for different people. So if Black people start to move, that means that other people may go to the bottom. Well, Asians don't want to go to the bottom. Latinos don't want to go to the bottom, and we decide we don't want to go to the bottom, that means someone else may have to go to the bottom. So there's always going to be pushback. There's always going to be difficulty. That's not going to change. But you learn how to go out into a global environment and begin to build teams of people and become a leader. Now, that was never in the United States plan. Conservatism's first poster in 1867 said that to conserve the white man's right to govern everybody else. So by all means, you were never supposed to be a leader as a Black person. And golly, are you a Black woman? Oh my gosh, are you supposed to be leading? Heck yes. Ask Mother Harriet Tubman about that. So where do you practice all this? And where do you practice it away from the noise of all the people that don't want you to do it? Get out into the world and learn how to get the help you need and learn how to build yourself into a global team leader. And we're going to go on those platforms now. The one that I was recommended by business owner Terrence Amen for you first. We may have him on as a Black History. We might do Black Historymaker live where I introduce you to some of the business people that I know. We will do specific Black things, but today we're going to go generalized. When he was seeing that I was struggling finding people that I really needed to do things, he sent me over to, hold on, I share screen here. He sent me over to, all right, Fiverr.com. Now, Fiverr used to be all $5 job. Inflation is a real thing. Now, notice Fiverr actually wants you in the door. Notice who they put up to greet you, Black woman, when you come in. And they want some other people to be here too, but I just wanted you to notice that as you came in the door, who is it they're advertising to right now? Black women were first. People know what's going on. They know that Black businesswomen in particular are coming out here. So as you go through this, notice the order of operations. Fiverr knows that we're out here doing this. Now, Black men, I know that you have not seen yourself on this carousel, but some of the biggest providers that I have worked with are actually Black men on this platform, and I promise you we will come back. What I want you to notice, though, is that at least there is some representation. The door is open. Now, these are freelance services for your business. Freelance services. And anything you may need to do. These are the popular things, but you can put in here anything you want. So let's just go to, if you're going to build content behind a paywall, you might need a website. You may be selling a book, so you might need a website or graphic design. So here we have some other departments inside of here that we can look at, but let's just go to website design and see what's available, okay? There are very few $5 jobs left on Fiverr. Times have changed and things have changed. However, there are $10 jobs still. Now, what you can do, because I realize I'm not here to fight with those of you who are Just like I don't fight with the swirlers and divestors who are on the site. I just let you be aware of some things that you need to think about. I'm not going to fight with the Black First, the B1s, and the pro-Black brigade. You can go through here and see if you can find a Black provider. There is one in here that I have used in person. I'm not logged in right now, and I don't see her on the first page right now because there's always people being added, and we'll come back to that fact in a little while. But here's what I want you to do. Before we go into looking for different groups of people, I want you to learn how to pay attention to two things here. Price, obviously. Look at the ratings, but also look at how many people were served. Okay? So this is a little piece of mathematics that some of you may remember and some of you may not. If I have an average of 4.9 and I have 6 people, that's an average score of 4.9 average out over 6 people, meaning that about 5 people rated me 5-star and 1 person rated me 4.5. That's wonderful. There's nothing wrong with that. But if I have this average over 188 people, that means I have a whole lot more 5-star ratings. People absolutely love what I did, and I have a few 4.5s. What you want to look for is someone who is consistently getting the same results in whatever you are doing. Now, notice some of these last names, okay? Now, he's a level, you can also look at level 2 sellers, completed at least 50 orders on time. That's important, with a minimum 4.7 rating. Okay, so this person has done this and is on time most of the time because they're level 2 sellers. Notice the name over here. Yep, that's probably somebody in Pakistan or somewhere in that part of the world. But what you're concerned about is they finished their orders on time with a minimum 4.7 rating. And you look at the number of stars and you look at their rating, and that matches up. Okay, you're going to notice a lot of names from places that you normally would not do money, that you normally would not do, would not spend money. Okay, this one is a Fiverr's choice for that matter, because what they're saying is this is all 5.0s. Okay, this is all 5.0s. So this is who Fiverr has chosen to promote. Now I'm going to come back later to why Fiverr picks certain people. This is a level 2 seller. Same thing. Level 2 seller. Same thing. Level 1 seller. This is someone who's starting out. He doesn't have as many people yet. He's a 4.9 with 22, but he's completed at least 10 orders on time, and he's maintaining a 4.7 rating. Okay. Now there are different levels of things. Like Studio 5 is out here doing everything. They got voiceovers and whiteboards and branding services and all that, and that's why you have this much bigger outlying number. Okay. But these are the two things I want you to look at, because we're going to go to another 2 platforms, but this is the main thing I want you to look at. Please look at, don't be worried about where they're from. Now, like I said, you can look through here and find ethnic groups of people that you want to work with. You can absolutely do that. I don't have a problem with you doing that. I do this. I do this. You'll see who ended up building my website and who I've worked with repeatedly on some graphic design products in another show. But here's how I found them. I still had to look at, okay, look here. And if I didn't look at this first, I looked over here. They've got a high rating divided out over a lot of people. So when you go in here, since this is Fiverr's choice, what the heck? When you go in here, when you click on these pages, then what you also want to do is look at the number of jobs that they offer. He offers quite a bit for a reasonable price, but so you might find something in here that fits exactly. But what you really want to do is look at the communication level, because that also will tell you about English language. And also, if something goes wrong, how well do they communicate? Okay, English language, would you recommend? In other words, social proof. And did they do what was offered? And you start looking at their reviews and you talk about what they do well. Okay, a lot of times they give you some decent. You also see that they order from all over the place. So there's more reviews and there's more and there's more. You want to see what characteristics, because you have to know what characteristics are important to you. I'll come back to that. What characteristics are the most important to you? And the first thing this means is you need to know what's important to you and how to properly design how to communicate to somebody else. We'll come back to that. All right, look for whoever you want, but make sure no matter who you choose, this right here. Read some reviews and find out what's going on, okay? Now, when you're ready to move on up a little higher, Elance and O-Work have combined to become Upwork. And when you are ready to move up a little bit deeper, you also can move into the same things, but these are more advanced. Now, I'm not going to sign in with either one right now because I'm just doing this. But these are more advanced. If you have major development things, make me a blockchain. Come over here. More advanced things. If you need to translate things into different languages, these are just people who are a little bit more advanced in their field generally than Fiverr. Fiverr level 1 is entry, but Upwork has much higher standards to get in. And as you can see, they're not going to even show you the people that have below 4. I don't see anybody below 4.6. So you have to work your way up. Now, there are some people who are very good on Fiverr who are also represented over here. But anything you might need, proofreaders, I'm a writer. I may need somebody to proofread something. You can look at, and these pay by the hour. So you contract for however many hours you need, and you determine by the hour. And you look for the same things. How many stars do they have? I know I'm not ready to do that yet, but now you see how that works. How many stars do they have over? Well, as long as we're here, you can use your work email address, you can use Google, and so forth, and sign in. This is for people really ready to do serious work. So here you go. You look again. You also see what they specialize in as well. Okay, so Python, you got your coding and things of that nature. But you want to see, okay, this divided out by how many jobs they have. Okay, there's a lot of people in here. There's a lot of people to choose from. And Upwork is showing you the 5.0 first. So these are the top of their field. Now, okay, and now we're going to go back to Fiverr for a minute. This is intermediate level, but they work by the hour. Well, let's go back over to Fiverr. And then there's Fiverr Pro. When you are really ready to go for some very top people, because here's the thing, Fiverr is now handpicked a whole bunch of people that they have now verified, and they may not be absolutely perfect, but they are now verified. They have done quite a few very difficult jobs, of very specific kinds of jobs. And now they're able to offer their services for more. Now, you may not ever need anything in here, but what I want you to know is it is available to you. They have been verified. They have gone up here, and these are the people that are the top of the top who have offered gigs. And Fiverr said, oh, look at here. Okay, we're going to let you move on up a little higher. Now, again, these are one-time gigs instead of working like the hour. And you have all sorts of things going on. You want to write about arts and culture, you start traveling, and you don't want to do the article. You give your travel experiences. Look at the people that she writes for. The Huffington Post, the Independent, the Evening Standard, big time things. Let's say you want to create a video game. You've got people over here who are doing that. I don't know why it's not fitting into my screen entirely, but when you're getting ready to build big things, this is available to you. Now, I'm sure you have noticed we have not seen many Black people on here yet. Okay, here's the deal, y'all. There are two things to be said about that. They do exist. I promise you they do. And I will go back and show you some of the people that I have used, because oftentimes the Spirit of God is very kind enough to do what I want to, let me do what I want to do and benefit our people. Now, they may be out in the diaspora, but I'm going to show you a project that was built by people both here, Black people here and abroad. We're going to do that on another video. But the other thing about it is, let's say that you're someone who's developed a high level of skill and you're looking for a way to make more money off of it. So guess what? Okay, cool. So maybe you don't start with Fiverr Pro. In fact, you can't. But if you want to get started, we're going to go back to the front page, people. We're going to go all the way back. We're going to keep clicking this back button until we go all the way back. We're going to keep clicking this back button and we're going to go all the way back. Okay? Look here. Become a seller. So you're doing something, you're getting clients on Facebook, you're using Facebook and you're getting clients, and you notice that you have something and people are telling you you're really good at this and all the rest of it. Let me move myself out of the way again. And you find this out, and guess what? Gigs are bought every 4 seconds. So you can get in here and find out what your skill is. They need all kind of things: writers, video editors, developers, designers, voiceover artists. That's a good one. I actually should think about doing that one myself. Social media marketing. And so here's what you do: you do have to compete. So you're starting out with 0 reviews. So you have to perhaps pay lower than other people in order to get people's attention. But this is a way to get yourself to a global audience and begin to use the skills of being able to communicate and work with global people. So for you as a seller, this is a way to get your work out to a larger audience around the world. And if you do really well, Fiverr will let you go up to Fiverr Pro, or you can then move over to Upwork and get paid by the hour to do the same thing. And this is how you work into a global audience. The other side of this is, let's say you're just going to explore these things to hire people. Okay, well, you're going to learn how to assess and hire someone. You're going to learn how to deliver the deliverables you need for someone else to do their job. You're going to learn how to communicate with them. You're going to learn how to review what they send you back. And in reviewing what they send you back, there will be changes, and you're going to need to talk to people respectfully, and you're going to have to work over some misunderstandings and language barriers, and you're going to learn how to do this, and you're going to learn how to pay them fairly. And what you're going to end up doing, whether you end up using these platforms as a buyer or a seller, is you're going to learn how to work in a global team environment. You're going to learn as a buyer how to build a global team to get the things done you need to get done, and talk to people across borders, and learn how to do intercultural communication, and be able to step out as someone who can work around the globe from the comfort of your home. And if you're a seller, you're going to learn how to operate in teams like that around the globe from the comfort of your home. I just showed you how you, as a Black person, do your diversity correctly. You don't come in begging for a seat at somebody else's table. You make a seat at your table. You make people pay you for the privilege to be there, and you pay people to work with you and do exactly what you have planned. But the key is, if you don't do good planning, you're not going to get good projects back, because this person is waiting on you to give them direction on what you want done. And if you're not clear in your mind, and you're not clear when you need it, and you're not clear on how you want it delivered, and you don't have a plan, this is not going to help you. This will force you to develop leadership abilities. As a buyer, you will develop leadership because now you have to help someone else understand your vision and be able to bring it forth. And as a seller, you will put forth your vision of what you are able to do and convince other people to buy. And then you will learn how to work with your vision and their vision and deliver what they want. And then you may go and outsource some of the work that you are doing to bring those customers in to someone else on Fiverr. So no matter where you start, you may be running a team of people. And not as a master, not as a boss, but as a global team leader who knows how to inspire people with your vision to get everybody to manifest it. You know, Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass were masters at getting people to work together that didn't know that they needed to work together. That's some Black history for you, including an entire nation that wasn't really interested in doing anything for them or their people. And they and many other Black people pulled that off. It's your turn. It's your turn. Get up on these platforms and start getting work done. Now, like I said, in a more general sense, I'm going to show you some of the things that I have actually been able to build through using this, and also some people that I met on Facebook that aren't even on any one of these things. They're out there working in a global environment, and they have their own websites, and they're finding clients, but I met them before they got big. And so I'll show you the combined work that 2 Black men, 2 American Black men, and 1 woman in Nigeria put together for me. And 2 of them I found on Fiverr. That's a different video. That'll come later on. All right. You have a good day. And later on, we're going to talk about the 4 Black people, I'm one, who put together this beautiful thing. Actually, 5, because you got to figure out who helped me get the book in the paperback. I didn't find her on Fiverr. I found her on Facebook, but we'll do a video and I'll show you how all this stuff came together and how it started on Pete D's predecessor. But we'll talk about the Black elements, because yes, I do want you to go find Black people to work with, but I want you to know that if you can't, you're not limited. Find the people that you need, learn how to work across cultures, learn how to operate in a global environment, learn how to be a team leader, and go make history everywhere in the world from the comfort of your own home. All right. You have a good day now. Thank you for watching.